Here's a video walk around of our F62 Baret. First of all, in the van you will find a big book of instructions which contains everything that you need to know. We'll go through them all now, but this is for reference while you're out and about. So first of all, the most important thing that you do is look after the keys and keep the van secure. It is absolutely possible to lock yourself out of these vehicles, hence the sticker we've put here. The rule of thumb is every time the van were locked, you must open and shut a front door. After you've opened and shut a front door, it will not relock itself. If you fail to open and shut a front door, it will relock itself after 30 seconds and you may be locked out. Look out for areas of limited headroom. Your vehicle height will be marked up there in feet and in meters, along with an indication of the width and the length. If in doubt, please don't go in. The van is registered as motor caravan, so you can drive it at motor caravan speeds. However, we recommend 50 on a single carriageway. You're allowed 1,000 miles per week of hire, or 425 miles for a 3-day hire. Turn the gas off when it's not in use, and when you're in motion, everyone must be in a belted seat at all times. No moving around the vehicle while it's in motion. Report, please, any incidents, any issues, any damage, any problems to us straight away, so we know what we're fixing when the vehicle is returned, or to help you while you're out and about. Some responsibilities of you to us. No smoking in the vans, please. Please make sure it is returned respectfully, clean and tidy inside, otherwise we reserve the right to charge a cleaning charge, with the toilet cassette emptied and full of fuel and on time. If you overshoot your insured time, there will be a penalty for extended insurance and a late fee. In terms of returning with the full tank of fuel, on this page, all the fuel locations are here with their postcodes. There's nothing in the village. There's fuel at Widden Down, in Exeter and the like. And the fuel goes in down here in this top one. Just push and the nozzle goes in. In the front, we have swivel seats, which are actuated by a little lever underneath here. Pull the lever and you can swivel the seats around to face the inside. It's fairly straightforward driving stuff. Standard automatic gearbox, park, reverse, neutral, drive, and M is manual. Please drive it in D. Cruise control, speed limiter, all that kind of stuff on there. Reversing camera on here, along with all your other audio controls, etc. Now the front windows on this particular van have little blinds on them. If you squeeze these, you can pull them across, and they stick magnetically across the front here, and similarly across the windscreen. That's your cab, so we know where the diesel goes in. You have a storage locker on the side. You get a little key with our key ring, and that will unlock a lot of these little lockers. On this side you have a gas barbecue hookup point, and then here you would have your utility locker. Inside the utility locker you'll find things like levelling ramps, so you drive up onto them to make sure that you are level inside the van, dustpan and brush for tidying up, some mains cables, a water filler hose and a 240 volt hookup. I will show you where that goes in, but basically if you don't have that connected to the van, you won't have any mains power inside the van. So ask for mains hookup on your campsites. Around the back, there are no sensors on the back, so please be careful backing up. However, your camera up there should tell you what's going on. Down this side, we have the toilet cassette. Up above here is your toilet, inside obviously. And you will find there is a grey lever by the toilet. Slide the grey lever open, and that opens this tank ready to receive any waste. Once you've flushed it, you'll close the lever up, because otherwise your van will smell, and secondly, you wouldn't be able to get this tank out. We carry some chemical on board, some sachets, like a dishwasher tablet. You just drop it in, it dissolves in water, and it forms a perfumed chemical that breaks down any waste in the tank. You're going to lift, slide, and take this out, take it to the chemical toilet disposal point, fold the spout out, and pour everything away. You don't have to, but if you press this little button while emptying, it allows a bit of air into the tank, which stops it splashing. So, once it's emptied, please rinse it in and out of here. Just make sure everything inside has gone, and then you're ready to drop in a tablet and maybe a glass or two equivalent to water just to dissolve that tablet. And then it's either ready for returning or ready for you to reuse. That just pushes back in like so. The chemical lives in there. Shut the door up. Next to it is the gas locker. Inside here, fairly obvious. It'll tell you what's going on. Turn it off for travel. And on the top of each cylinder it has an open and close. You will have one cylinder connected and ready to go, and it is normally supplied to you off. So you will need to switch it on when you're ready for it. Right below is this blue tap. Don't open the blue tap. The blue tap will drain your fresh water. You don't want to do that under any circumstances. However, you may wish to drain your wastewater, which is down here on the driver's side. We normally leave it open, so it's up to you if you wish to close it, but it's just behind the driver's door. That water normally just goes to ground because it's normally only washing up water and the like. Right above it is the mains hookup point. Here, if you have your cable, like so, lift the lid, and the lid goes right inside, and when you connect it up, you should hear a beep from the microwave. I've just heard it there, so that now I know my mains is working and that all my 240 volt sockets on board and any other functions will work on mains electric. If that doesn't work, it tends to be that the campsite have got an issue, usually tripped out, or your app isn't working for your mains power. Just coming back towards the gas locker though, these two are your water fillers. Ignore that one. This is where, when I would put the key in, you would slide that up and then put a hose pipe in here to fill the water. And you fill the water till you hear it running underneath the van where it's coming out of an overflow. So please just use that one and don't put anything other than water in it. Thank you. This is what it looks like for receiving water. Last thing I need to show you on the driver's side of the van is the handbrake. Handbrake is just tucked away down here. Pull for on, push for off. You need to remove the handbrake before you drive away. It doesn't fly off like with many modern cars. You have to release it. So push for off, pull for on. And up above it is a hill hold, which is either on or off, auto lights, and the rest of the stuff should be fairly straightforward. Coming inside the van, you have a bin, van brolly, and up we go to inside. So your cabin is here. I would recommend, just in terms of setting up on a campsite, making sure that you're level first. You don't have to be spirit level, but you need to be level so you're comfortable in bed and comfortable in the van. So drive up onto the levelling ramps before you do anything else and make sure that the van feels level. The next thing you're going to do is connect your energy. So you're going to connect your mains, which goes in on that side, and you're going to maybe turn your gas on as well. Then you're going to come inside the van, swivel these two front seats around to face the inside, and then you'll probably want to head for the mains control panel. So after you've driven, this panel will be off. So you would need to wake it up with the power button then here. This will then give you these options. Lighting, main is your lights, on or off. Nothing else to play with really there. Let's go back to home. Power will tell you how you're getting on with your leisure batteries and whether they're charging. Tends to all be automatic, so don't worry too much about that. Water, on this particular one at the moment I've only got 25% of fresh water, but this is quite important because here is the water pump. The water lives underneath the floor and needs to be pumped to the sink and the toilet. So you turn that on here. Please turn it off when you're not in the van, but while that is on, like so, when you open a tap you'll hear the pump making a noise, and when you close the tap it'll stop making a noise. If I go back to home, there's nothing else really to do on here. If any warnings up here, like for example low power, low water, would flag up on your warnings dashboard there. These are my boilers. I have a heating boiler and I have a hot water boiler. If either of these have an exclamation mark on here, you need to clear the exclamation mark down before you do anything else. So you would press the exclamation mark, which would tell you what the error is, and this is the reset. So you press that until it clears. So for my hot water, this would be my target temperature of 40 degrees, or I could set it to 60 degrees, like so. This is my current water temperature, and then if I have mains hookup, which I do at the moment, I can press that one, and if it changes from blue to orange, it'll be starting to heat. It'll heat until it reaches 60 degrees, and then it'll go back to blue, which is standby. And then similarly, I can also run gas there, obviously having turned my gas on. It takes a little bit longer for the gas to start up because obviously it has to go through a warm-up routine. To turn anything off, and we recommend you turn it off before you start driving, otherwise you'll end up with an error warning. Just turn it off like so. No lights here, mean the boiler is turned off. And the same for your heating. Just turn it up to the required temperature and away you go. Also in the cabin, you'll find we have blinds on your windows. Please drive with all blinds open, otherwise they get slightly damaged. And similarly, we need to make sure that all windows and vents are shut for driving, please. Inside the kitchen of the van, we have a 3-burner hob with an igniter, an oven and a grill down here. Those all run on gas. You will find a table inside that one there, which is like a freestanding table. And then all your pots and pans, crockery, cutlery will be in these areas here. The microwave is mains powered only. And you get a socket on board there just for running mains powered stuff. You have a really big fridge with a freezer compartment like so. This fridge is electric only. And by that, we mean that it's running on leisure battery only. So the little blue light tells me it's on. This is all touch sensitive. We generally run this at fairly low setting, but you can boost it up if you want, but perhaps only if you have mains hookup. And you can ask it for more fridge, or you can ask it for more freezer. And if you hear it humming away at night and it's disturbing you, if you press this one, it'll put it into a night mode where it'll cool less, but be quieter for a period of up to about 12 hours before it normally moves back into its ordinary phase. So there's nothing you need to do with the fridge. Basically, as long as it's got enough power, it will give you this kind of display. Got a couple of wardrobes for storing stuff in with an automatic light, fire extinguishers in there, ladder for the electric bed, and some more storage down the bottom. To the right of this is your washroom. The light switch is here. And as you can see, you've got a separate shower compartment, sink, and your toilet. So the toilet has a swivel bowl. You can move it to wherever you want it to be. There's the grey lever we talked about for opening, like so. That now opens the bottom of the toilet tank, so it's ready for use. And when you've flushed it, using the blue button there, you can then close this one back up again. We use an easy dissolving toilet paper to prevent blockages, and you will usually find another one in either this cupboard or this cupboard here. Lastly on this van is the bed, which is up above us. This here. The bed is designed ordinarily for the mattress to be at this height, so drop the bed till it reaches here. If you're going past this point, there are various things you need to do, like make sure these seats are out of the way, make sure these seat backs are folded down. It won't come down all the way, it comes down to about this sort of level, so you need to avoid straining the curtains on it. So there's a ladder. The ladder is designed to be used when the bed is at that point, and if you want to bring it lower, then obviously you can just hop into bed. The bed is lowered from in the kitchen area by this, and when you press this button, the bed just descends like so until you reach the prescribed point. Normally I would take my pillows off, but duvets and sheets can remain on here. There's a light up the top as well, and then to make it go back up again, all you have to do is press the button until it reaches the ceiling. If you have any trouble with the electric bed, for example it not wishing to go back up, there are a couple of bits you can do just to help it. Firstly, on the driver's side, it has some cutout switches just up here. If there's anything obstructing the upper cutout switch, it won't go back up. Similarly, it won't go down if there's something obstructing the lower cutout switch. Inside this cupboard, there is a resettable fuse here, which you may press the button to reset it. And if none of that works, we have a hole up underneath here, which has manual bed winder written on it. And you can put our winder up inside there to wind the bed up and down. And that is kept just above the passenger's head in that little locker.